Celebrating 10 years of award-winning car talk, it's the In Wheel Time Car Show today, coming to you from Studio A in Texas, USA. Right on. Just ahead, Richard Tomlin with a Mexico race and Pike's Peak updates, among other things. We'll take a look at the events calendar. Mr. Mars reviews the 2021 Mercedes-Benz G Wagon 550. Dog, I can't believe that you got that car.
I couldn't either.
Why would they give that to you? Anyway.
That's the Kardashian of cars.
He's a G.
And that's perfect for him. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
He's an OG.
We'll also get a Wheelchairs for Warriors car show update and talk with the Jeep folks about the new Wrangler 4xe. What? That and more just ahead on today's In Wheel Time Car Show. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars, King Conrad DeLong, Jeffrey Zekin. We'll get to him in just a minute. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us today. Thank you very much. You notice that there's somebody new on the set with us that's joining us.
Huh. I'll be darned.
And a backup. I needed to make sure sound was.
Yeah, right. Liar. So we walked into the studio this morning. We had to bring in all the equipment from our past remote thing. It seems like we've been gone out of the studio for weeks, but
We have.
we have 3 weeks to be exact. And so Mars said to me, we really need to bring Jeffrey Zekin up on the dais with us instead of over there in the corner. And I said, I couldn't agree more.
But we had to find a corner to keep him in.
I always fall back on nobody puts baby in the corner. But it's a new day.
Yeah,
Jeff is a new day. So it's good to have you here.
Thank you. And Conrad keeps touching me under the table. So.
Well,
Get used to it.
you're not by yourself. Look at that smile on his face.
I'm going to have a cigarette after that.
So howdy, along with Mike Out of This World, King Mars over there.
Hey!
Conrad there, Jeff here, Don here. Glad you could join us. It's been quite a week.
We are now the Four Stooges.
Yeah.
We are the Four Stooges.
We always were.
So this is our new going forward look from the studio. We've also added something to the studio. My old set of tires from the Corvette. And I didn't realize how bad the rear tires on the Corvette were. Now, last time we talked to Richard Tomlin, he says, come on, we'll take all the rubber off. Well, I didn't need to go down there because apparently Greg Enders did that for me before he sold the car. Mm-hmm. It's got, I don't know, it has no tread left,
no,
really.
your wear bars are at 230 seconds, and they're pretty much at the wear bar.
Yeah, it's toast. That's the rear tire. Right. This is the rear tire that you see up here. The one that's holding it up is the front tire, and it's full of race tire rubber that I picked up at Houston Motorsports Park when I was doing the pace car duties. And remind me not to do that again. I didn't realize the rubber that you pick up on the racetrack stays. You see the cars doing one of these numbers on the racetrack?
To scrape that stuff off.
Right.
And they did, apparently.
Well, no, it scraped it off, left it on the track for me to pick up on my front tires. The odd thing about it is there's none on the back tires because the front tires, I guess, picked it all up.
No,
I didn't burn up.
You burned them off.
No, I didn't. I've
He
never.
keeps saying that.
I have never lit the tires on the Corvette. Honest.
Really?
If I had done it, I'd been proud and said, yeah, I did it. But no, I didn't do it.
Well, if you ever watch at the end of like a Formula One race, all of a sudden all the cars drive offline, picking up rubber, because they'll pick up 100 pounds of rubber.
Yep.
And they're trying to add weight to the vehicle, so when it goes over the scales at the end, it's legal.
Seriously.
Oh,
There you go,
absolutely.
yeah.
I had no clue.
Yeah,
Well, live and learn. Well, at any rate. Well, let's get on to our first guest of this live show.
And he probably doesn't worry about adding weight to his car.
No, I'm sure that he doesn't because he does the hot laps all the time, whether it's on the street or on the track. His name is Richard Tomlin. He owns a company called Apex Auto Works. And, Richard, it's always good to see you, sir. How are you?
Amazing. Good morning, all.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. Amazing. Maybe
you're
in your
good.
maybe in your own mind. Yeah.
Right?
But at any rate, hey, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Were you going to come to the shop today anyway?
Well, I walk to work each day because I'm blessed to live in Alvin, Texas, and my house sits about 30 yards in front of my shop, so I'm in the shop every day of the week.
Oh, okay. Well, that can be a blessing or a curse, as you know.
Curse.
Yeah.
It's a curse. Yeah, you
You
can't.
never really get away from work like that.
Well, not only that, but I mean, the toy box is in the backyard. You're going to go out there and play in it all the time.
Absolutely.
So,
I didn't do it.
I did it again.
yeah. So, Richard, what have you got? What do you got going on down there? Looks like you got lots of cars in the shop.
Yeah, we're loaded up as always, but I think the big news for us is we were getting ready to go to Chihuahua, which is our Mexico race.
That's Chihuahua, isn't it?
Yeah, Chihuahua for you.
Uh-huh.
And as we were getting packed up to leave for that race, we leave Tuesday morning for this race. We got a call from a local friend who has had some problems with his Viper and his Porsche to be able to go up Pikes Peak this year, and threw the gauntlet down of can you have your car ready in 9 days?
Oh, wow.
To head up Pikes Peak
Your car?
as a replacement car.
So your car?
Yeah, so my car is actually going to be rented to a local driver to make the trip up Pikes Peak this year.
I thought you were going to take it up Pikes Peak.
Yeah, so it's just going back, but we were in a state of revision number 4 is what I call it on the car. So it's been a thrash of a couple 17, 18-hour days for the last 9, 10 days.
What have you been doing to it? Completely rebuilding it?
It was a complete rebuild. The secret to Pikes Peak, in my opinion, is 2 things. It's either turbos and displacement or lose the weight. Our car is basically down to 1,500 pounds now, and it's running a 472 cubic inch LS in it. So it should be
the Miata.
Okay. Yeah, it's a Miata. Everybody says it's not much of a Miata, but it's a lot of a Miata. Just people can't see it. But Pikes Peak, it's been around 1916 first race there. This is the 99th running of the race this year. Next year will be the 100-year anniversary. 12.43 miles up America's mountain, 156 turns. You get one shot at it. So once a year, you get to go up there and prove yourself and prove your vehicle.
Wait a minute. One shot. You don't get a test loop around it or nothing?
No, you never get to make a complete run at the mountain. They get us there Monday prior to the event. Monday is tech. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you practice the race in thirds. So you'll do lower section, you'll do a mid section, and a top section. The only time you get to run all of them together is race day.
Oh, wow.
And now it's fully paved bottom to top. It wasn't originally. It was all dirt originally, and then, at some point they went up to
it's much, much faster now than it has ever been.
And what are they in the under 9 minute?
Their record is 750 something now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's all manufacturers. This race goes from huge manufacturer to little bitty garage guys like me that show up and race. So it's
who usually wins? The garage guys or who usually wins? The garage guys or the big manufacturers?
Last year was a garage guy.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
that doesn't surprise me.
20-year veteran of the mountain.
Well, he's got a lot of laps on it then.
20 tries at least, right?
Yeah. Well, plus going up there during the off season, driving up and down just to kind of make sure he refreshes his memory.
What's interesting, my first year there, I said, well, yeah, the mountain's open, pay our $5, and we'll just keep going up and learning the route. You can learn part of it. The issue is the speed limit is 30 going up, like their max. Now I've been told it's 20, but there are people that are crawling along at 5 mile an hour, and you can't get any comparison to how fast that track is at speed. You really got to sit down and watch a bunch of videos. A lot of people play the simulators. They'll play at morning, lunch, night, 3 times a day, sit on the simulator just to keep themselves refreshed on the layout of the course. It's daunting.
Yeah, I've been up at, it was years ago with Austin. And I think it was paved up to the toll booth, and then it was dirt from the toll booth north. So it tells you
a long time ago.
How long ago that was, yeah.
That's at least 10 years ago.
Does anybody ever fall off the mountain still?
That would go back to Jeremy Foley was the last one to go off. We did lose Colin Dunn 2 years ago, motorcyclist that went off near the top. That's what changed the motorcycle rules to where no more motorcycles are racing up the mountain. Now it's just vehicles.
Just too dangerous.
It happens.
Well, the first one you mentioned was at the Mitsubishi, the guy out of Houston, and went off.
Yeah, he's actually out of Dallas. Jeremy Foley and Yuri. Yuri's here in town. Yuri was navigating. That's another rule change is they got rid of the navigators after that because you reduce your risk exposure by half.
Okay. Huh. Yeah, it was a pretty scary off right there in, was it Devil's Playground? What do they call that?
Yep,
Rocky
Devil's
area?
Playground where they went off.
And,
Absolutely.
I mean, you watch this car tumble hundreds of yards down the mountain, and these guys get out and start looking around to see how what's going on with the car.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be able to because my back would have been broken several times by the time I got to stop.
Yeah, but and I didn't realize they had a navigator. I don't know why I just never registered them. I think it's basically all right-hand turns, right?
Oh no.
It was an option to have a navigator then. Now it's not even an option anymore.
So with that,
some people would take the weight penalty of having a navigator to help you get up the mountain. In my mind, it helps you be faster. It really does.
So would that have been a navigator, kind of like you see in rally racing,
exactly.
where the guy's telling you, hey, here, and they kind of throw a number in, brake 3, turn right 7, kind of the severity of the braking and the severity of the turns.
Yeah. So let me throw this out to you. Here's the easy way to think about it: is if we say it's a right turn, it'll be a right, and if we say it's a right 1, that means it's a first gear corner. If we say a right 5, it's a fifth gear corner. Very, very simple process.
So a right 5.
We say left 3, then it's a left third gear corner.
I would say a right 5 means hold on tight because we're going fast.
Bad things happen.
I can't believe that so they've got a turn that'll actually, you can take it that fast.
There are turns that you take that fast. And so understand that when they say turn, you might say it's a wiggle in the road or a little bit of a bend in a road, and that's where those numbers come into play.
I got you.
Oh, okay. So
that's where the 156 number comes as well.
The 156.
So, yeah, for going up the mountain, they call it 156 turns.
Oh, okay.
For the 12 miles.
So, does the navigator, or when there was a navigator, are they working out of a book or are they working out of memory?
At Pike's Peak, they put their own books together, and they call it Recce. So you'd go up there a couple of days before, and you would sit down with your driver.
And
you would drive up the mountain, and you would make your notes for what you wanted, using landmarks or using distance. A lot of us use a tool called a TerraTrip, which basically is an odometer that's on the passenger side, very large screen, so you can actually see how far you're traveling, and you can timestamp braking zones. You can timestamp where the exact corner is, so you know what's coming up.
So do you use a navigator when you go to Mexico, to Chihuahua? Or?
Yeah, navigators are required down there. I think you would die there without one. It is
That's good
Chihuahua.
to know.
The issue with Chihuahua is you're covering 1,273 miles in a foreign country in 3 days.
Oh, my God.
400 of that, you're just going as fast as you can. So unless you really, really know the back roads, you're not going to find your way without a navigator.
Are there actual roads? Because from what I have seen on TV, what they show sometimes, there's no road there. It's a road that somebody made in the off-road.
No, so so you're thinking of a different type. So this is based off of the La Carrera Panamericana. So the race that happened 48 through 54. And it was a celebration in Mexico of them completing their interstate system in the 50s, which was really a 2-lane highway, right? But it ran from Guatemala to Laredo. It's where road racing started. It's all on asphalt. And basically they will close off a section of road. They'll block off all the driveways. They'll line us up. They set a timestamp on a transponder, and they set us free. A car every minute gets released, and we race through. Away we go. So every fifth car is a doctor car, so you're taken care of, in theory, if anything really bad happens.
So
the Mexican doctor with the cheap pharmaceuticals.
Well, I'm wondering, so is the doctor car really try to keep up with the race?
They have a professional driver that drives the doctor car.
Oh, my God.
Doctor's in the passenger seat.
Yeah.
And they are at a very brisk clip.
Well, I was going to say, because otherwise you run off and leave them.
So isn't that where
if you catch a driver's car, or a doctor car, it's pretty impressive. Doctor cars are no slouch. Inside the rule set of Chihuahua Express, you've got restrictions on power. You've got restrictions on weight of the car. The doctor's car has no restrictions, so they're able to keep up.
They can do whatever they want.
Isn't that where the term ambulance chasing
They're
came
there. I've had them chasing me up a hill in a Miata one time. So the Miata is not the best car to have going uphill, just not enough displacement at 1.6 liters.
Okay.
So what do you take into Chihuahua?
Another Miata 1.8 supercharged, one we've had there every year for 7 years now, I believe.
How have you done in the past?
Highest we've been with that car is 10th overall.
Oh, wow.
It's won its class multiple times. We're looking for overall. Break into the top 5 would be nice.
So it's no slouch.
No, not at all.
No, it's a 210 horsepower Miata. Weighs 2,150, 2,100 pounds, depending on day of the week. Load 2 people up in it and fly.
That sounds like fun.
Two people in a Miata is pretty full.
Yeah, especially when you're my size.
I wasn't going to say it that way, but yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, put me and Conrad in the car and let's go race up the mountain. That's what we do.
Yeah, but I think I'd slow it down.
Nah, we'll be okay.
And then you need room for all the tequila you can bring back.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, that's pretty cool. And then how many do you guys have to reconnoiter that track as well?
So
Not
when you go
track,
to
but the
Chihuahua, they
streets.
actually provide a book for you.
Okay.
And it's this thick. Left pages are in Spanish, right pages are in English. So you're flipping one side or the other depending on which language you want. But there are a couple teams that go out and they provide recce for you. They'll sell you their notes that they created before the event. We've not been brave enough to buy a set of those yet. I guess you call us a little nervous, but I guess it was 3 years ago, when we placed 8th, the top 7 cars were all on the same recce notes. They were not on the sanctioning body's notes. So there is an advantage to their notes, but they're only in Spanish. So we've got to get them early and translate them to English to be able to go run.
There's a lot of ay in there.
A whole lot of challenges. But that's what makes this stuff fun. If it wasn't challenging, why would you do it?
Yeah, if it was easy,
I mean, look at
everybody
Pikes
would do it.
Peak. Yeah, who wants to race up Pikes Peak? Everybody says yes. Then you go drive up it, and there's people like, maybe I'm going to change my mind. I'm not going to do this. It's a daunting task, but men have conquered this mountain for years. It's you against Mother Nature.
Well, that's where the Unsers got their start. Pikes Peak.
Yeah.
The
a
Unser
bunch of Unser history up there.
Yeah.
They owned the mountain for years.
Yeah.
So next year, you said next year's the 100th anniversary of Pikes Peak?
Yep, 100th anniversary for Pikes Peak.
You going to run it?
Are you gonna drive? Are you gonna go, or are you just still gonna rent the car out?
This is Pikes Peak is one that my wife has told me I don't want you driving now. And it was when Yuri and Foley went off. I mean, we've known those two men 21, 22 years now. We knew them well, and we're watching when all that happened. And that night, she's like, I just don't want you driving that mountain. So, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
That one's off the bucket list. I won't drive it. I've supported teams up there for 10 years now. We'll continue to do such and build cars for it. But I won't be one racing up that one. I'll stick with my Mexico stuff.
But they do a bazillion classes at Pikes Peak, though, don't they?
I don't know the actual count number. I would say there's probably 13 classes, maybe. It's actually not as many as you'd think. And the car count is down now, too. We're at about 70 cars that they're capping for the mountain.
Total.
They're really trying to focus on putting on a show now.
Okay. Are they doing the big trucks anymore? I know at one point they were doing tractor trailers.
Yeah,
Tractors.
they've usually got 2 to 3 trucks that show up, and they roll coal like nobody's business. 4 sequential turbos.
No.
And what, about 10,000, 12,000 pounds?
I don't remember the number, but it was into the 5 digits. It was like, what in the world?
How crazy
And the
is
first
that?
turbo, like you could stick your head inside the turbo. It was unreal.
That's way beyond me. It reminds me of a story about a radio chief engineer that I had in my early career that said to me, "Hey, Don, I need some help taking some equipment to the top of the tower." Okay, I'm good. I climbed a water tower. I figure I can climb a transmitter tower. So it turns out that the transmitter tower is down near Alvin, and it's the old Channel 11 tower when it was KGUL, when they were down in Galveston. So it wasn't real tall. It was built back in the 50s, and no big deal. But it did not have an elevator in it. The elevator had been long gone, so you had to climb it. And to get up to it, you went up, I don't know, probably 20, 30 feet to get to the platform to inside the tower. I got in there, and I'm all loaded up with all this equipment on my back, ready to go up there. I'm in my 20s, mind you.
Going, what the hell am I
And
doing
I
here?
looked up, and I could not see the end of the tower. I said, "Nope, that's it. That's way too much for me." I cannot even imagine going up Pikes Peak at any time in my life, much less in a great big huge tractor trailer with turbos big enough to put your head in. No, that ain't happening.
Almost drifting as you come around the corners.
No.
It's a very cool drive as you go up, and it gets cold when you get up to the top. We were up there. I went up there with Austin. He was at the Olympic training grounds for water polo, and he had a day off, and we went and drove up and drove back down. And I bet you there was maybe a 40-degree temperature change from the bottom to the top. I mean,
easy.
Literally, you could watch the temperature drop as you were going up.
You can get altitude sickness as
and
well.
that's got to be an issue with the car as well.
Yeah, oxygen's got to get thin up there.
Yep.
I think
Yeah, some of the drivers actually run oxygen so they can actually breathe easier when they get to the top.
Oh, my God.
What's it, 14,006 or something? What's the
14,100 feet at the top.
Yeah.
You start the race at 9,600 feet. So you climb 5,000 feet. So there's a challenge there as far as keeping your car tuned would be the word we'd want.
Yeah.
Because you're getting less oxygen to the motor. So that's why a lot of people choose to use turbos and superchargers. We're normally aspirated on our car.
So how do you manage the air-fuel ratio on the LS as you get?
Computer takes care of 98% of that, and you just run it. Cool thing with the standalones is once you start it at that 9,600 feet, that's where it will actually set its tune to. So we're going to lose 15 to 20% of the power near the top of the mountain.
Richard, we love talking to you. Thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. And
always fun.
Yeah, be sure and get back with us now when you get back and give us all the details.
Absolutely. You do me a favor, though. Take that tire and turn it around. I want to see that you really burned the tread off of that tire.
Well,
I don't know that I can believe that seeing the side of it.
It wasn't, I know. Well, it wasn't me, actually. It was Greg Enders.
Yeah. You did a pretty good job there.
Yeah, well, he's
did. Blaming Greg Enders.
Yeah,
because
that's what he
Greg
keeps
isn't here to
saying.
defend himself.
Right. That's exactly right. And if he's listening or
Very
watching
good.
this show, then he knows. He knows.
We all have a great day. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have fun.
Appreciate it.
Yep. Hey, if you'd like to get in touch with us, please shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. Time now for the events calendar. And we've actually got an event that's coming up in next weekend, next Sunday.
Next
Sunday,
yeah.
June 13th.
Sunday.
2 to 6 p.m. at Bayway Chevrolet in Pearland off of 518. And it's going to be their first annual car show.
Wheelchairs for Warriors.
And we're going to participate, and we're actually going to
Record a show.
record a show from there.
Right. We're also going to give it to you live, but it's outside of our real broadcast window from 8 to 11 here Central Time on Saturday. So we're going to record it. We'll play it back later. But if you come out there, be sure and say hello to us.
Don will have hero cards, and he'll be signing autographs for everybody.
Lord, will not. Anyway, continue on.
Well,
please.
Kissing babies.
Just depending on what the weather, how the weather holds out.
It's going to be great. We've had enough of this.
I'm talking about this weekend.
Oh.
Because, Nifty 50s is tonight in Grogan's Mill in the Woodlands, Akima Car Meet. Tomorrow is Cars and Cocktails at 5334 Washington Avenue from 12 to 4. And then Friday is Friday nights at Valley Ranch out in New Caney, which is kind of the intersection of 59 and Grand Parkway. And then June the 12th, Saturday, June the 12th, is going to be the 11th annual Shelby Car Show at the Star in Frisco.
Neat.
Okay.
So that should be a pretty cool event to go to. And then again, we're going to be at the Bayway Chevrolet's first annual car show, and that's Sunday the 13th from 2 to 6. And
in
then
Pearland.
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 And then Saturday, June the 19th from 11 to 2, Pictures with Race Cars, and that's going to be at the Chick-fil-A in Tomball, Texas, off of 2920.
Thank you, sir. Time now for this hour's car review. Mr. Mars has it. I don't even want to talk about it. It's the Mercedes-Benz G Wagon 550. You just go.
Let me tell you, I was really excited to get this vehicle, but I did not realize exactly what it was. Because let me tell you, the first thing I ran into, I went to a drive-through in this vehicle, and the lady leans out and starts telling me the differences between the G Wagon I was driving and the AMG version that she was looking at. I'm thinking, okay, I'm in the wrong business if she's looking at that.
She's in a drive-through window, and
Yes.
she's looking at an AMG.
Yeah. And then I take my wife to dinner one evening, and we're walking across the parking lot, and here comes this guy almost at a run because he wants to come and look at it because he's never seen one real. And then I go through another drive-through window, and the girl leans out. A young girl leans out. She says, "Can I look at it?" "Yeah." "Can I touch it?" And she reaches out and just puts her hand on it.
You were
just,
shirtless, right?
No, she just was. It was crazy the way people went after
So
this vehicle.
is a chick magnet.
I'm telling
Everybody
you.
thought you were a Kardashian.
Exactly. And this thing has only been in the U.S. since 2002. And this is the second gen. It's very square, very utilitarian-looking, tall design. It's been around for 40 years, but it hasn't been here that long. And I found out it was actually built in Austria. Is where this thing is built, and it's imported. And that's the reason you have such a weight on them. And it's got some really cool things, like you can get it in 34 exterior colors. And
What?
I'm just telling
Yeah,
you.
but just wait till you hear the price of it.
And
Go
the
ahead.
new this year is what they call the night package. Got a lot of black trim elements on it, the grill trim, headlight trim. And it's got the LED lighting system all across it. It's got Mercedes-Benz literally on the calipers of the brakes. Got a power tilt sunroof, got color matched spare tire wheel cover, which is a full-size wheel hanging off the back end of this thing, and it's a 20s on the vehicle we had, so it's got a 20-inch spare. I mean, this is a big, massive vehicle, much like a lot of vehicles started out as a military-type vehicle and kind of grown into what consumers are buying. You get in on the interior, you got Napa leather seating, got a leather dashboard on this thing. You can get 54 different interior upholstery packages on this thing. Got a 12.3-inch digital instrumentation on it, got a 12.3-inch infotainment system on it. It's got with knobs that you can or touch it. Got a 15-speaker Burmeister
I love
audio
touching
system.
knobs.
I know it.
Yeah, don't be touching my knobs, man.
Reach out and touch it.
And, it's got heated front and rear seats. The front seats have
heated
massaging on the
Yes, of course. You don't even have to go there. We figured it was a massaging thing.
yeah, and they work good. Now, to make this thing run, because this is a heavy vehicle, this thing weighs 5,500
Oh,
pounds.
my God.
It's got a 4.0-liter V8 under it, and it sounds good.
Has it got an iron frame underneath it?
Because it's got three different transaxles. Three different trans boxes on it because of the off-road capability.
It's huge.
416 horsepower, 450 pound-feet of torque with a 9-speed automatic. This vehicle will tow 7,000 pounds when properly equipped. 0 to 60, 5.6 seconds in a 5,500-pound vehicle.
Not bad at all.
And it's really got, you get it out on the highway, it's really got this surprising ride on it because you're expecting this big, heavy-duty off-road vehicle. It's going to be rough. It's not. Particularly when you get this thing up some cruising speed out on Interstate 10, this thing will run just as good as it sounds. I'm just telling you. And it's got a great field of view. From the driver's perspective, you can see all around you, every place you're looking for. Now, I tried to look at something to compare this to. Kind of tough when you look at the history of this vehicle and stuff and the price. The best thing I could come up with is a 2021 Land Rover Range Rover autobiography version that has basically the same capabilities and things and could possibly match it as far as performance goes. Now, the price on that's $131,000. So the base G550 that you're going to get from Mercedes-Benz is going to be $131,750. However,
that's the stripped version,
that's the
right?
stripper version. However, we had a couple of options, including the black package and things. Our tag on our MSRP, as tested, $156,270.
I'll take two.
And if you get the AMG version, I'm told it's about 50% higher if you can get it.
And people are waiting in line
They're
to get
waiting
them.
in line to get them.
Yeah, to build in Austria.
I'm just telling you, I was really impressed with this vehicle.
Now, isn't like the original history
time for questions.
of the G Wagon was a military vehicle?
Yes. Again, like the Hummer and some of the Jeep even.
Right.
They all started as a military type vehicle, and it's kept a lot of that styling tradition to
And then
it.
they
That big
built a
boxy
civilian
look.
version. Yeah.
And people are sucking them up like you wouldn't believe.
Hey, the In Wheel Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and InWheelTime.com. Podcasts available at your favorite podcast provider. The In Wheel Time Car Show continues right after this quick break. Well, yes. Actually, after this one.
Let me tell you about a locally owned and operated group of dealerships called Bayway. Bayway owner Daryl Wisniewski is born and raised right here, and he knows Houstonians better than anyone. Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, Bayway Lincoln, and Bayway Chevrolet are managed by Lincoln Stahl. And when you get to know these guys, you'll want to become part of the Bayway family too. Feel good that you're part of Houstonian-owned Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.com, BaywayChevrolet.com, and BaywayLincoln.com. Remember the name, Bayway. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's premier cruise-in, and you're invited to join in. Whether you're a cruiser or spectator, Tailpipes and Tacos is the place to enjoy made-to-order breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, coffee, and mingle with Houston's fun car people. Mark your calendar for Saturday, June 19th for Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupe Tortilla Mexican Restaurant in Katy, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Tailpipes and Tacos is free and everyone is invited. You'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event at the Lupe Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 in Katy. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Lupe founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise-in, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, June 19th, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Lupe's in Katy. The In Wheel Time Car Show will be there too. Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday morning, June 19th, 8 to 11 a.m. at Lupe's in Katy. Inside the Loop, visit Tailpipes and Tacos on the Southwest Freeway at Shepherd, weather permitting. You see all the new ceramic car wash cleaners on TV now, but John Gray at Gulf Coast Auto Shield has been using ceramic coatings on Houston's most expensive cars for years, and he'll tell you that nothing beats the real thing. Gulf Coast Auto Shield installs a coating over your paint that actually comes with a warranty. If you just picked up your Lambo, your Aston Martin, Porsche, Ferrari, any other exotic car, chances are your car will have company that have already found Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Now, you don't have to own an exotic. Maybe you got a truck, an SUV, or even an older vehicle that needs a little love. Well, let John Gray give it a look and give you an estimate on refurbishing that paint and making your vehicle look new again. How about getting a gift certificate for the wife's birthday or anniversary from Gulf Coast Auto Shield and tell her, honey, I know you love your car, so why don't we get it looking new again? It'll be the best gift ever, one that she'll never forget. Get hold of John Gray at gcautoshield.com or give him a call, 832-264-0670. Gulf Coast Auto Shield.